even know what you're eating when it comes to food these days? Beef, for example. A lot of controversies on the vaccinations they're getting, ones that you may have once upon a time opted out of. In my opinion, scary growth hormones. It's much worse than you think.
Attorney Tom Renz has been warning that there is no law requiring anyone to give informed consent for vaccine food.
Do you guys really know what's in your meat? It gets worse.
Food that's been gene edited can be legally marketed as non-GMO.
So do you guys realize a lot of these outfits don't get their beef in the US? I think we deep dove Butcher Box at one point, and when we get that meat from those other countries, it can be labeled non-GMO as well here. It gets worse. So when this meat actually arrives to the US with very lax requirements, as long as it's butchered or packaged in the US, it gets to be labeled as product of the USA. So don't be fooled thinking that you're getting USA grown, non-GMO like you think it is type of beef, or any meat at that rate. So question, are you guys the folks that just take whatever they give you, ask no questions, and it is what it is? Or would you rather be informed and look at clean and safer options? I've got two options for you guys today. Just another thing, not sure if you've seen all the viral videos. Lots of videos out there of people using magnets and the magnet sticking to their meat for a specific reason. And that's not even all of it. We got growth hormones and all this other stuff they're injecting meat these days.
We had the meat analyzed in a lab, and it's no surprise that both cuts are loaded with bacteria.
Probably after a few days in room temperature, it's not fresh, but it looks fresh.
Without refrigerated storage, I can't assure that the product is safe to consume.
A consumer can't look on the ingredients here and see that there's gas added to this package.
No, they'd have no way of knowing it.
Also out there, tons of viral videos of people concerned of potentially having toxic gases pumped into their meat. Folks, it's not good and it gets worse. Check this out.
Yes, it's referred to as value added. So because you're adding something to it, it increases the price. So in our store, things like steaks, strip loin steaks, they were going off, they were expired essentially, would be coated in some sort of barbecue marinade or cracked pepper, something with a really strong odor to hide the rotten smell.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you things that you need to know. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. And look, folks, this type of information, you don't like getting out. So please start it off with a thumbs up. It'll help tell the system to send it out to more people. And most importantly, if you find value, share this information out.
These shredded beef tacos might look like the real thing, but they're made from plant-based ingredients. Using advanced 3D printing, Nova Meat layers shredded beef by forming a network of fibers that mimic the texture and mouthfeel of real meat.
It tastes, like meat. Good. Surprised. Very surprised, actually.
Showing at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this week, Nova Meat says their industrial machines use a 3D printing-like process. Here is CEO and founder Giuseppe Scionti.
What people are looking for is not something that just replicates meat, a copy of meat. What you're looking for is protein with texture.
Nova Meat's proprietary microforce technology drives this innovation, setting them apart by producing plant-based meats with a fibrous texture, according to Scionti.
Protein is in the middle of a transition. So the big protein provider, that can be normally meat packers or it can be cereals makers, all the big companies are preparing for the shift because it's already happened in dairy.
In September 2024, Nova Meat raised $19 million in an oversubscribed Series A funding round. Scionti said the funding will scale microforce production, expand the product range, and enhance global reach and commercial activities.
This is what they are working on in 2024, and they say it's going to be global. So what this is stacking up to is you're either going to be eating fake lab-made meat or meat that's pumped with a whole bunch of stuff you probably don't want. So some of you already know that a lot of the beef has got the juice that you may or may have not wanted. Listen to this attorney and what he's been trying to tell people.
Actually make what's called transmissible DNA. And what that means is that they can put this stuff in an animal so that it transmits to whoever is ingesting whatever it is that they're ingesting, and they become vaccinated. So they could engineer this into plants, into animals, into various things. And if we don't get disclosure, if we don't, pass some informed consent laws, what's going to happen is for all you guys that stood strong and said no to these vaccines, well, you're going to get them anyways, right through your food.
So the thing that pops out to me, despite that particular vaccine, to me it seems like this is the way that they're going to force whatever they think we need to have, or whatever is the next thing. We're going to get this thing whether we like it or not. More reason why you should be getting your stuff from a trusted source. That's against all this craziness. In regards to that transmittable part that he was saying, I mean, look at Australia and even the UK. Bovier in Australia. We're expanding the use of methane reducing feed supplement proven to reduce cattle emissions by at least 50%, with 3 Cole's finest carbon neutral beef suppliers now using Bovier. They're injecting these animals with all kinds of stuff. And when it comes to this Bovier, it says right down here, warning, not for human use. Caution should be exercised when handling this product. It says it can damage male fertility and reproductive organs. Look, I'm not sure if you've heard, but I've had a lot of friends that have had a hard time. I mean, trying to have a kid for years. It makes you wonder. They're saying that you have to wear eyewear, dust mask, protective gloves, but they say it won't affect you. Even though we're utilizing the milk, utilizing the meat, it sounds like they have a pretty good handle on making things transmissible. And we get this information in these other countries, but when you've got 4 companies that own, I think, over 85% of the US cattle market, the company kind of sounds like Blacker Rocker. I think there's all kinds of manipulation going on. Yeah, and they're doing a lot of this down in Brazil. I mean, it says in the United States, the beef processing market is dominated by a few large corporations owned by one big company, or they have a big hand in it. Tyson Foods, JBS, Cargill, and Marfrig. Found a better image on this. See, it says now using Bovier, and right down here, the ingredients, some chemical stuff. And then it says caution, because safety and effectiveness have not been evaluated in these animals. And they're already using it. And then again, down at the bottom, it says not for human use. I mean, do you guys want to be the guinea pig? And that's just getting your beef. Like, I'm talking about all the meat used in fast food. I know a lot of people still buy fast food just because of financial situations. But this report right here from Moms Across America, contraceptive and harmful antibiotics found in top 10 fast food samples. There's people that just go out and buy their beef and think they're doing pretty good and then stay away from the fast food, but I think the fast food, they've got it even worse. You guys want to know which ones? And right here's the chart. Not good. Top 10 fast food, veterinary drugs and hormones test results from Taco Bell to McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks even, Domino's, Wendy's, and Dunkin' Donuts, and Chipotle. So before I get on to this even scarier stuff, yeah, sadly it gets worse. I don't like presenting a problem without a solution, so I got 2 solutions. One of the markets that we're involved with has the best beef that I can find, hands down. No hormones, no antibiotics, raised and grown naturally in the United States. A company that is against all of this garbage. It's as clean as it gets. And it compares and outperforms all these other companies. I'll put a link down in the top of the description and the pinned comment so that you guys can simply get more information and find out if it's a good fit for you. Just let our team know that you're interested in the beef only, which is an option. And if you guys are wanting to switch your household stuff over to non-toxic and American made, you can easily save around $52 on your beef order bundle. Option number 2, I'm talking about local farmers. There's a growing group of farmers that are very aware of this. The problem is it's very hard for them to operate underneath all of the conditions that they need to meet to sell to the public. So in my past, I found that you almost have to find the guy that's trying to fly under the radar, because if they're under the rule of the man, they're going to make them give them this, give them that in order for them to bring it to market. So you're going to have to do your research, find those farmers that are aware of what's going on and meets your standards. Any of you guys ever buy anything marinated? You might never buy marinated again. You'll be doing it yourself for sure. Watch this.
Things get marinated if it's going off or it is off. They will marinate it to hide the odor, and if there are any dark spots or whatever, to mask that and then put it out for sale. And things that are marinated actually sell for more.
So get that. It goes bad, they add a couple things and actually sell it to you for more. So they're selling you the rotten stuff for more.
Referred to as value added. So because you're adding something to it, it increases the price. So in our store, things like steaks, strip loin steaks, they were going off. They were expired essentially, would be coated in some sort of barbecue marinade or cracked pepper, something with a really strong odor to hide the rotten smell.
You heard that right? Did you guys hear that right? Did you hear that? So they're gonna sell you the rotten stuff, mask it with something super strong so you don't smell the rotten smell, and then sell it to you for more. I'll tell you what, shopping at grocery stores these days, you gotta be on defense mode. Folks, that came from a meat manager, and it doesn't stop there.
Consumer can't look on the ingredients here
No.
and see that there's gas added to this package.
No, they'd have no way of knowing it.
John Nicolai heads a union that represents butchers in New Jersey. He thinks meat should be fresh cut in stores by trained butchers.
Tell the consumer, put up a big sign saying, we do not cut any fresh meat in this store.
He told us to talk to this union butcher in New Jersey.
All of the meat that I see here, do the customers really know that there's gas in some of this packaging?
I don't believe they do know.
They don't know that.
Did you guys know that the meat packages have gases pumped into them? I don't know. You guys prefer cultured meat because they are doing a ton of research that is finding out that it's better for the environment. Is it better for you? Right here, I'll explain it to you guys so you understand. Traditional meat production has a significant environmental cost. So it costs too much to run a field of cattle. The United Nations has reported that livestock sector generates 14.5% of all greenhouse gas emissions, which I personally think that that's a bunch of bull. Requiring 30% of Earth's land space. Yeah. And 8% of the global supply of fresh water. They will try to scientifically fabricate whatever they possibly want to get what they want. Animals require up to 97% of their caloric intake to maintain their bodies and produce non-edible tissues, making animal-derived food products less efficient than their cultured meat counterparts. So see, they're going to build a case why we need to have cultured meat. And I guarantee you it's because this big company at the top that owns all the meat companies, well, I'd have a sneaky suspicion that they make a whole lot more money. And look, they've got it figured out right there. You got the biopsy, the stem cells, growth serum, myotubes, muscle tissue, and then boom, you got your fake burger. Look, I can't even bring this guy up, old Billy G, but he's got his hands into what these animals are getting because they want you to have it. And he's also trying to, and it's in levels, it's on its way there, make sure that you're gonna be eating either lab-made stuff or bugs. They've already got that stuff in foods, but that's a whole other rabbit hole. Yeah, Bill's got his hand in all kinds of stuff. Not sure if you've ever heard of this company, but I've done my research and there's a very, very large profit when you can make everything out of bugs. So, I mean, you guys could be eating bugs one day. Now, I could go on for like an hour with as much information that I have, but I'm sure I've already went over 8 minutes. The biggest thing is you guys still have a choice. Don't fund this type of stuff. Stay aware and know your options. Like I said, we can help you with a very, very reputable, trusted source. Link in the top description and pinned comment. If that's not for you, find those trusted farmers that are selling to people one-on-one. There's getting to be more of those guys out there. They're aware, they know what's going on. And of course, let me know if you guys want more of this because I could do a whole other video and give you even more information, all different. Put it in the comments, share this video because people need to know this. Also, make sure that notification bell is still clicked on because I got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.